Alrighty, welcome guys. March 16th. Happy New Year. Happy St. Patty's Day. Tomorrow's going to be St. Patty's Day. Be safe out there. It's a day where everyone gets in cars and likes to drink a heavy amount of alcohol and then run into other cars and cause pile-ups on the highway. And it's just not a good day if you're somebody who is out there just casually driving. If you're just casually driving, it could be a little aggressive. And I like all you people, and I like everyone alive. I definitely like people above the dirt, not dead. That's how I like it. So be safe. Enjoy your Irish heritage. If you don't have Irish heritage, then it doesn't matter, because we celebrate all the holidays in this country, even though we're not what we are celebrating. History of St. Patty's Day. I don't even think there's like a Irish history. What is the true history? St. Patrick's Day, feast day of St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, born in Roman Britain in the late 14th century. So 300, that dude was born. He was kidnapped at the age of 16 and taken to Ireland as a slave. He escaped but returned about 432 to convert the Irish to Christianity. That's legit. He's an escaped slave. That's my boy. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Damn, man. Siri is just constantly yelling at me. But how was everyone's weekend? I got brand new candles right here. I'm going to go ahead and light up my first candle, which is the Winter Woods Yankee Candle. Proud product of the United States of America right here. Got one. We have a new one called White Barn. This one's got a tri-wick. Tri-wicks are the way to go. 3 wicks is always better than 1 wick, as they say. Mahogany coconuts. White Barn, not Yankee Candle. Gonna light these suckers up. If you guys want to, once again, I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, but if you guys want to go ahead over to the description below, there should be a link there. First link that you see in the description box, and the link will take you to a donation page if you guys want to donate to the podcast, so we can continue to grow the podcast. This is Deep Blue Sea. God, that smells so good. This one doesn't have a label on it. It's just a little tiny label. Scented candle made with essential oils. If you guys want to donate to the podcast, it would mean a lot. You can do like monthly donations. You can also do daily donation, or like one lump sum payment of a donation. That'd be nice too. But also, you don't have to. It's up to you. I don't really care what you guys do. The only thing I do care about is if you guys listen to the podcast. And if you enjoy the podcast, go ahead and show love, like, comment, subscribe, do what you do. But we're back, guys. Happy March 16th, the day of St. Patty's Day. Dude was a slave. Said, nah, we're not having that. Came back to the great country of Ireland, and then started telling people they had to be Christian, because that's what we do. That's what the Catholics do. How was everyone's weekend? I know for me, I went into Friday. My parents were, I don't know if I need to say all that, but basically what I did this weekend was just eat all the food around. So Friday we went ahead and ordered a pizza from Papa John's, an extra large pizza. And every time I get pizza, I always need to get pizza like cheese bites. I always get like cheese bites. The breadsticks, the cheese breadsticks. I went ahead and got cheese breadsticks. I also got like a cinnamon bun pull apart from Papa John's. We went ahead and crushed that. I felt terrible. Didn't feel too good. Went ahead and what else did we do? Oh, we went to Annapolis, I think. I think we went there. But basically Friday, we just ate all the food. Taylor and I just ate all the food. I went into Friday weighing 196. I got up to 209 pounds. Like, there is a serious discrepancy of people out there who say they put on weight, and then there's me. I put on weight to the point where I could easily put on 20 pounds in one day. like easily, not even like a question about it. One of the secrets is water, and the other secret is the ability to fart in between meals. Like if you eat a lot, the thing that people mainly struggle with continuing to eat is making room in their stomach. But if you can immediately go take a poop and then you can fart, or you can fart and then go take a poop and then you can burp, and if you can stretch out your stand up and stretch out your diaphragm, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Then you continue to go about eating your food and losing your mind and eating everything in sight. So basically Friday we just ate a large pizza. Saturday came around and we went out to eat, which is something we rarely do for a few reasons. Reason number one, I work in the evenings, so it's hard to go out to eat when you're working. It's actually impossible. And then on the Friday, and then on the weekends, I work early in the morning and usually exhausted by the time I get off. But this time around, we went out on Saturday. We walked around, hung out in Annapolis. It was so nice to see like the world just starting to open up a little bit. Like it really was. It was so nice to see 13% of America is vaccinated at this point. Like adult males are fully vaccinated, and it's crazy what's going on in like places like Italy right now. They're like relapsing, like they're going backwards. They're all shutting down again. Europe is shutting down again. Like the Netherlands are shutting down again. That AstraZeneca vaccine, man, it's like it's not doing what it's supposed to. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Why countries are halting the AstraZeneca shot? Italy prosecutors seize batch of AstraZeneca vaccine after death of man. It's not doing too well. It's kind of worrisome. It's kind of worrisome at this point. Pascal Soriot, who is the CEO of AstraZeneca, is probably holding his breath a little bit right now. It's weird. I always felt like AstraZeneca was not the vaccine that I would put into my body, because I think they started out with like a really low effective percentage, and I just didn't. There was something about it. I think they don't use mRNA. I think they're like a dead virus, like a lot like Johnson and Johnson, but also Johnson and Johnson is Johnson and Johnson, so you trust it more. It's a household name like Johnson. I'm literally looking at Johnson & Johnson hair product right now. They do like baby shampoo, like no tears and stuff like that. So like you just trust it more. Like I just trust Johnson & Johnson more. But there was just something about AstraZeneca. I was like, nope, not putting that one in my body. And it's just not, there's like tumors. It's growing tumors on people's body. You can look it all up. Like I'm not like, this isn't like disinformation. Like this is the truth, man. And it's just not looking too good for Italy. Like if you look at Italy's COVID, Italy's COVID is just spiking right now. Yeah, like, so back when everything was going crazy in Italy, March 27th, where they showed videos of just dead bodies coming out of hospitals and stuff like that, back when COVID was it was new and everyone was losing their mind. The peak day was March 27th at this time, and there was 6,000 new cases in one day. And then this is what's crazy. This is crazy. This is how flexible humans are. Like when it first went down, we were losing our mind. Like we were losing our mind, and because we didn't know what to expect. And then Italy was getting nothing. There was like 100 cases here, 100 cases here, because during the summertime everybody was outside, and COVID does not spread nearly as easily outside as it does inside. Once you come inside, everyone's close quarters, and it obviously spreads a lot more then. But if you're outside, if you're at the beaches, it won't spread nearly as much, just because you're outside, right? And then once people started coming indoors again, so the peak March 27th was reached. That same day was reached. Number of new cases was reached early. It was reached right here, October 13th. And then that thing spiked all the way up to the peak of November 16th, 27,000 new cases. Went back down, this is all in Italy. January 11th, 12,000 new cases. And then it kind of went down, only about 6,000, 7,000 new cases a day, which doesn't sound like that much, but that's like double than what it was when the COVID first started. And then it got pretty low, down to 12,000 cases February. But now, as of yesterday, or 2 days ago, March 14th, there was 21,000 new cases, and that vaccine's just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Whereas if you look at the United States COVID, if you look here, it's deteriorating. Like we peaked around 300,000 cases on January 8th. Yesterday, 38,000, which was one of our lowest days. Yeah, actually, that might have been our lowest day. 38,000 cases was probably our lowest day of vaccines, of new cases. And our vaccines are rolling out crazy with Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson's starting to go everywhere. Where else? And then if you look, let's look at Texas real quick. Texas COVID, because everyone was like freaking out that they're reopening their state and all that. Yeah, no. So ever since they reopened on March 10th, 5,350 cases. That when they reopened, they took away the mask mandate. You don't have to wear a mask unless like local government. And this is the thing with local government. People don't realize like the Commerce Clause in the Constitution. If local government, aka your city, your town, your county executive, they can override their government above them. So like when Governor Abbott puts in this rule, if you know anything about the Constitution, because of the Commerce Clause, our county executive here in Anne Arundel County, Executive Pittman, he can be like, actually, Hogan, we don't like that. We're going to stick to 50% capacity. If he does that, then we don't follow the 100% capacity anymore. It's the Commerce Clause. It's the same reason why federally $7.25 is minimum wage. But if you go to Los Angeles or Portland, Oregon, or wherever you go, Seattle, Washington, they're paying you like $12.50 an hour. It's because of the Commerce Clause. The Commerce Clause is one of the greatest things that the forefathers have ever done this for this country, and the reason why they did is because they didn't want ultimate power on the federal government level. So that's like the thing with like marijuana is federally illegal, but in California, Washington D.C., but Oregon and Washington D.C. and California, it is fully legal, right? Because their states can make their own rules. But March 10th, 5,000 cases. March 14th, 2,700 new cases. That's crazy, man. Like they're kicking butt. Like, and this is what's crazy. Like, I think if Texas continues to do what they're doing and they're just basically making COVID cases like go away, like I don't understand why we can't do what they're doing. Like we should all just follow them. Mississippi's a little bit different. They're kind of trending a little bit upwards from 437 March 10th to 203 March 14th. So they're actually kicking butt too. But these places are killing with the vaccines. Like Mississippi has administered fully vaccinated, actually pretty low, but still, at least one dose, 589,000 people, aka 20% of the population has received at least one dose of the vaccines. That's crazy, man. And then if you look at Texas, let's see what Texas is. I love numbers. I'm a numbers guy. Same chart. Cool. That's a beautiful chart. I like that chart. 19%. Over 5 million people have received at least one dose. 19% of the population. So what Maryland is. I feel like Maryland's not doing well at all. No? Yeah, we're doing well. At least okay, so at least one dose is 22% of our population. That's not bad. That's not bad. How's Maryland doing with COVID? Taylor's adorable. Okay, yeah, so we're going slightly back upwards. So 860. So March 10th March 12th is when our new rules went in. 990 cases. Yesterday was 860 cases. So, but I'm just happy that we're finally getting back to some type of normalcy. Like Taylor and I went out to dinner downtown Annapolis, and we had it was nice. Like we walked in, the hostess was like, are you guys comfortable with being near people? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like Taylor's been fully vaccinated. She had COVID. I don't get COVID. I'm just, I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is with me. I do not know. Like we had to deal with COVID back in like May. No, maybe it was like July. I don't know when it was, but it was in the summertime. We had to deal with COVID. Taylor got COVID. My mom got COVID, and we're all under the same house. And I did not get it. Like I did not get COVID. I was sleeping with Taylor. Like we were just chilling. Like literally the day she got, I asked her to kiss me because I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, if she has COVID, I'm going to get it. I want to get it right now. Like, I don't want to have to get it in like 2 weeks and then be out for an additional 3 weeks or whatever. Like, I want COVID right now. I never got COVID, and I don't know why. I got phone calls from university saying they're doing studies with hydrochloroquine, vitamin D. Like, also YouTube, don't like take away my ad revenue here, but like, I'm dead serious. Like, I got a legit phone call from the University of Maryland, Baltimore College, like medical school, like asking, hey man, can you be part of this trial or like the study? Because we're noticing a trend of people in households with people with COVID and they're not getting COVID. This doesn't make sense. And this was back when we really didn't know what COVID was. Anyway, so like until I get COVID in my head, and I know it's just so weird. Like I don't feel like I can get it. And I know I should be able to get it, but I don't. Maybe I had it way back in January of 2020. Because in January 2020, I was sick as a dog. Like, I'm talking, I was down. And this was back when COVID was a thing. It was talked about in the news, but it wasn't talked about here in this country. And I'm talking, it was 24, I was pretty much just 12 hours. Like, it hit me at like 8 p.m. I ended up in the hospital at 4 a.m., like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I was in the hospital. I didn't throw up once, but I was just so sick, dude. I couldn't move. I had a fever of like 102, 103. I was down for the count, and it was gone. That morning I woke up like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It was pretty much done. I think I was like working out like a week, like a couple of days later. And I could have had COVID. I came back with the flu. Let me look. Can you test positive for flu and COVID? Is it possible to have the flu and COVID at the same time? Yes, it is possible to test positive for flu as well as other respiratory infection and COVID-19 at the same time. Because of some of the symptoms, flu and COVID-19 are similar. It may be hard to tell the difference between them based on the symptoms alone. Testing maybe, wow, so maybe I did have COVID, but at the time they weren't testing for COVID. I would love to see that if the nurse, I don't remember her name, but I would love to see if she had COVID. Like if that would be bad, but if I spread COVID to her, and I don't know. This was like, I think we had like a confirmed case. Maybe, I don't know. When was the first confirmed COVID case in the U.S.? The first cases in North America were reported in the United States in January 2020. Cases were reported in all North American countries after St. Kitts and Nevis confirmed a case on March 25th. In all the okay. Where was the first case? The first human cases were, Wuhan City, December 2019. So it says St. Kitts. Who is St. Kitts? Is that a person or is that an island? Is it an island? Yeah, that's an island. Huh. Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if I had COVID maybe, and I still have like really strong antibodies. I'm not too sure what it was. But anyways, so we go there, and I'm just sitting at this restaurant. I'm looking around, and like there's not a mask to be seen. Like, and I'm not anti-mask. Like, I'm not somebody who's like, F it, reopen, America, freedom. Like, I do believe in freedom. I do love America. But at the same time, I also want to be open again. Like, I really do. And I also think we have the vaccine now. And I don't know about, like, I think the hospitals are much more decreased in the number of COVID cases are getting. Like, I feel like I like the direction we're going. We're reopening, right? That's the only thing that matters. We're reopening. And that makes me very happy. And I'm looking around here and just everyone's at the bar. Like, there was like standing room only. People were standing. Like, people were having conversations, like talking with their hands again. And it just felt like it was normal for a second. And I was watching people walk in and out. And it was kind of funny that you had to wear a mask to walk in and walk out. But you're just like, I'm sitting there. And, you know, we can throw a baseball and hit Governor Hogan's house. Like, he's right there. And, you know, it's just a good feeling. You can feel like a sense of freedom. Like, Joe Biden's on the news saying, well, maybe we can, if we get these because he wants to get the vaccines out by May 1st, right? That's his goal, which is a huge goal, and that's freaking awesome. Every adult can get it. Like, shoot me up right now. I'm totally down to get a vaccine. Like, I'm science. I love science, and I want to almost get the vaccine just because I'm so, like, I'm so amazed by the ability for us to just get a freaking vaccine out already. Like, that's just, for me personally, that's amazing. Like, science is just, it's incredible. Say what you want about it, but like, it's incredible. Like, it's saving maybe millions of people's deaths. Like, Pfizer and these companies are just incredible. These scientists are just amazing. These regulators are just amazing. And like, I think after all is said and done, these medical companies, these scientists should win all the prizes, all the Nobel Prize. No, I don't know what you wear, which the prizes in science, but it's incredible, man. It's I almost just want to get the vaccine just so I can be like, yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys feel a different way about it, but like, for me, I think it's incredible just how far science has come. But I'm just sitting there and like, I'm just looking around like, dude, this is what it's about, man. Like, I miss this. Like, I miss being at a restaurant and like hearing people talk and like people yelling and like looking outside and see people walking, holding hands. And this was like on March 11th or March 12th, like the 1 year anniversary of like, I think the WHO declared it the 1 year anniversary of COVID. Like, it was beautiful. You know, it really was. In 1 year, the whole world has been turned upside down. And 1 year later, it's like, it's slowly reopening. And you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like, homeboy is up there talking about like, by July 4th, we should be able to gather in small groups. Montana, South Dakota, Texas, and Mississippi is like, hey, dude, hold my beer. We're already doing it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, these places, like, nope, never shut down. Like, we didn't do that. Florida's like, small groups. Like, we've been clubbing. Atlanta's like, hey, yo, we've been clubbing since June. Like, calm down with which, like, I understand. Like, I wonder who is Biden talking to? Or does he genuinely believe that all states have been shut down? Like, when he says that, is he talking just, like, literally just to DC because that's where he lives? Or is he just talking like directly to California or like New York City? Because most of the country's like, hey man, we're open. Like, we're doing our thing. Like, we're gonna have barbecues as much as we want. Like, large groups, like Texas, the Texas Rangers, the baseball team, they're 100% at the beginning of the year. 100%, man. Obviously mask on, but like, I don't know. It was so cool to sit there and eat and just watch people live somewhat of a normal life again. Like, it really was. It was beautiful. Taylor and I, we got like these little potato things, this pizza, and then it was the first time I ever had octopus. And I know like people are gonna push back, but like, yo, octopus is like, you shouldn't be eating that stuff. Like, those are really smart animals. Like, they're almost humanish, and like, you shouldn't be eating octopus. But like, I understand. I love octopus. Don't get me wrong. I think octopus are some of the coolest animals. You know, they came here from a different planet. They came here from a meteorite. Like, I totally get it. By the way, I'm not like dead serious with that, but there is that theory that octopus came here from octopus came from a different planet. Where is that? It's a legit theory, man. As legit as you can get. Worldliness of an octopus has a new spin. A new controversial study has a new spin on the otherworldliness of the octopus. But these interesting times, real life reads like fiction. Recently, a group of 33 scientists worldwide, including molecular immunologist Edward Steele and astrobiologist Kendra Wickramasinghe, published a paper suggesting in all seriousness an octopus may indeed be aliens. The paper, published in the March issue of the journal Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology, is controversial, obviously, and the vast majority of scientists would disagree, but the paper is still worthy of discussion. For one, as a thought exercise, because outlandish ideas often are initially rejected. And in provoking us with the seemingly bizarre theories, it forces us to acknowledge that there are aspects of life and science for which classic evolutionary theory as yet has no explanation. The octopus, for example, is traditionally considered to come from the nautiloid, having evolved about 500 million years ago. But that relationship doesn't explain how these odd cephalopods got all their awesome characteristics, or why octopus are so very different, genetically speaking, from their alleged nautiloid ancestors. The paper states the genetic divergence of octopus from its ancestral celluloid subclass is very great. Its large brain and sophisticated nervous system, camera-like eyes, flexible bodies, instantaneous camouflage via the ability to switch color and shape are just a few of the striking features that appear suddenly on the evolutionary scene. So, anyways, like I know like these are like, oh, here we go. This is the theorist. Okay, to make matters even more strange, the paper possessed that octopuses could have arrived on Earth in, quote, an already coherent group of functioning genes within, say, cryopreserved and matrix-protected fertilized octopus eggs. And these eggs might have, quote, arrived in icy bolides several 100 million years ago. The authors admit, though, that, quote, such an extraterrestrial origin, of course, runs counter to the prevailing dominant paradigm. Not cool. Anyways, like I know like they're super like alien-like, and you know they have nervous systems and they have feelings and all this, but I ate them and it tastes awesome. And anyone out there who is pro octopus, just know I'm also pro octopus, but I'm also pro good food, and they were delicious. Like it really was. It was one of my favorite meats I've ever had. Like I'm dead serious. It was so good. Like it was on top of like these mashed potatoes, and it was just tender. Like one of my buddies said, he asked me, does it taste like eel? I've never had eel, but you know what it did taste like? It tastes like the edge of a pork chop, like the fatty part, but a lot less chewy and a little bit less greasy. But it had like a little bite to it. Like it kind of just it snapped, and it was honestly, it was incredible. Like it was really good. And I got over like the idea that it was like a octopus real quick once I put it in my mouth, and it tasted absolutely amazing. But yeah, I did that over the weekend. We had octopus, and oh god, Fox News is going in on Biden, man. The article is Biden, no stranger to inappropriate touching accusation, gives Cuomo a pass. Biden and Cuomo have both claimed that they have used physical contact as customary way of interacting with people. But they both, like Biden has all these images of him like sniffing on little girls' hairs and all, and you know, everyone's coming out against Governor Cuomo. All these girls are coming out. A third woman has accused Governor Cuomo of unwanted touching sexual attention, saying he placed his hands on her face and asked if he could kiss her at her friend's wedding. A friend took a series of pictures of the incident. That girl looks young as hell. Cuomo was like, come here. March 1st. That's so funny, man. It's not funny. Like, they definitely shouldn't be doing that. But, like, I find the irony of people to just look upon things. Like, just look over things. Like we can just look past all these accusations of Biden sniffing girls' hairs and, you know, touching girls. Like, we just can completely look past that. If it mixes with any of our plans, we can just be like, nope, didn't happen. That didn't happen. Governor Cuomo can go on record saying, I'm not sorry, or I am, whatever he said, but he can just go on record and just dance around all these questions, all these sexual assault allegations coming after him. Like, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. We just move on with our day. You know, we just move on with our day. Amy Lopez, who was an aide for Rep Jim Deans, told the Hartford Courant that in 2009, Biden put his hands around her neck, pulled her in, and rubbed his nose against hers. When he was pulling me in, I thought he was going to kiss me on the mouth. That was 11 years ago. He then, Vail Colhert-Yant told the Washington Post, when she was at a White House intern in 2013, she had an awkward encounter with the then vice president when Biden came over to introduce himself. He then put his hand on my back of my head and pressed his forehead to my forehead while he talked to me. I was so shocked that it was hard to focus on what he said. I remember he told me that I was a pretty girl. See, this is what's like, oh, God. Former college student Caitlin Caruso told the Times that she met Biden when she was 19 at the event at an event about sexual assault that took place at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Caruso claimed Biden placed his hand on her thigh and hugged her, quote, just a little bit too long, after Caruso had spoken about her own experience with sexual assault. Oh, man. I've always been making connections, but I will be more mindful about respecting. Okay, see. So he put this out April 3rd, 2019. Social norms are changing. This is out on Joe Biden's Twitter. I understand that, and I've heard what these women are saying. And I've heard, and I understand. They're not saying anything. They're accusing you of something. Politics, to me, has always been about making connections in more ways than one. He didn't say that. I added that. But I will be more mindful about respecting personal space in the future. That's my responsibility, and I will meet it. Good job, Joe Biden. That's awesome. Like, we play in such a weird world, man. Like, this world, like, not everybody has the same rules, man. Everybody has their own set of rules, and everybody, if you break your rules, like, it's not a universal rules. If you break your own personal rule, then you get in trouble. Like, we can all understand that, like, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. His girlfriend or whoever she was is currently going, like, we are aware of the connections with Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton. Let me look up a list. People connected to Jeffrey Epstein. We're aware of all this. Here are the famous people Jeffrey Epstein was connected to. Of course, whatever. Oh, cool. Awesome. I got to pay for everything. God, you're stupid over there. All Jeffrey Epstein's friends involved in sex trafficking. This is 2019. Just give me a list. Okay, here's one. Former President Bill Clinton. Epstein flew former President Bill Clinton and actor Kevin Spacey and comedian Chris Tucker to Africa so they could participate in a tour of prevention and treatment center for AIDS. Epstein was reportedly a supporter of the Clinton Foundation. Shocker. Flight logs obtained by Gawker in 2015 shows that Clinton, who has been accused of sexual assault, flew in. I'm not laughing because of that. I'm laughing because the irony that these people are still out there and we do not care. We do not care that Bill Clinton is still out there. That, like, I'm just running off Kevin Spacey, who also has a history of being an absolute creep. People have called him out, but we just don't care. Like, we do not care. And I think a lot of it's because the world is run by men. So, like, we just, all the men just kind of ignore it because most men have had issues with, like, stuff like that in the past because they're freaking monsters. Like, I'm just laughing because Bill Clinton has it. I know people who support the Clintons, like, say Hillary's, like, the greatest person in the world, but, like, she has so much dirt on her. Like, so much dirt, and we just do not care. It blows my mind. The things that people can turn their eyes to and just not care about at all. Like, just completely ignore it. Like, it's mind-blowing. Smart people that I know in my own life can just say, yeah, Bill Clinton was a good president. Cool. But what about this? What about him a person who's been accused of sexual assault, flew in Epstein's private plane at least 11 times in the mid-2000s. In a statement, Clinton press secretary Angel Urena said that Clinton had only taken 4 flights. Already lied right there. 7 additional flights. We just forgot about those. Like, how can we know that this guy who was charged in 2004 for a pedophile ring, gets arrested in 2019, whatever it was, ends up dying in prison, whatever that means, and we just kind of ignore it. Like, because people don't care. Like, people do not care. Quote, President Clinton knows nothing about the terrible crimes Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those with which he has recently been charged in New York, he said. Urena added he's not spoken to Jeffrey Epstein over a decade and has never been to Epstein's private island. Private plane at least 11 times. And has never been to his private island, Little St. James Island. What a great name for a child molester. What a great name. Epstein's ranch in New Mexico or his residence in Florida. Y'all are tripping, man. Like, President Donald Trump. Here's another one. Epstein used to frequent President Donald Trump's Palm Beach property, Mar-a-Lago, and the real estate Magnus spoke highly of him. I've known Jet for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump, who has been accused of sexual assault and misconduct by at least 21 women in 2002. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey Epstein enjoys his political life. Like, how can we just... Attorney Alan Dershowitz. That's another one. That's great. A law professor. He was part of his legal team in 2007. Here's another one. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. That's a great one. You know, now he's connected to Queen Elizabeth. That's great. U.S. Attorney General William Barr, Attorney Kenneth Starr, filmmaker Woody Allen, physicist Lauren Krauss, George Mitchell, Senator, former New Mexico Governor Bill Rogerson, financier Glenn Dubin, hoster Thomas Pritzker, modeling executive Jean-Luc Brunel. Like, I don't know. What am I even talking? I don't know what I'm talking about. I find this stuff just outrageous. Like, outrageous, man. It's crazy, dude. Like, we only care about a few things. We only care about a few things. I don't know. Whatever, man. Whatever. Who, right? Whatever. If no one else cares, why would I care? I don't know. Shout out to the Vatican, dude. They can't. Thank God. Thank God it's 20. I'm just going off. Thank God it's 2021, and the Vatican still cannot bless same-sex marriages. The Roman Catholic Church cannot bless same-sex marriages, no matter how stable or positive the couple's relationships are. The Vatican said on Monday. The message approved by Pope Francis came in response to questions about whether the Church should reflect the increasing social and legal acceptance of same-sex marriage. Does the Church have the power to give the blessing to unions of persons of the same sex? The question asks. Negative, replied the Vatican's Congressional for the Doctrine of the Faith. The Church says its answers regarding same-sex couples, quote, declares elicit any form of blessing that tends to acknowledge the unions as such. This is just stupid. Because of Vatican's stance on marriage, critics have accused the Church of treating LGBTQ people as lesser members of the Congregation. In apparent response to those concerns, the Vatican said on Monday that its declaration is not meant to be unjust discrimination. It's so upsetting, man. How can we live in 2021? Jesus has been dead for 2,000 years, and we still can't let gay people get married. Like, y'all tripping, man. It's crazy, dude. I mean, most of the world doesn't let gay people get married. Map where gays can be married. Let gays get married, dude. Who cares, dude? Jesus Christ, man. Here's a list. Marriage equality around the world. So this is in 2000. Marriage equality legal in only 29 countries. That's crazy, man. So United States, Mexico, Canada, all the the European countries, but not the real Italy. It's not legal in. Looks like it's illegal in South Korea. All of Africa is illegal besides South Africa. India, China, Russia, just completely gray. It's illegal. It's countries that legalized marriage equality in 2019: Austria, Taiwan, Ecuador. Countries that legalized marriage in 2020: Costa Rica. Places to watch for marriage equality in 2020. The list includes Czech Republic, Switzerland, Philippines. Wow, it's still gay marriage legal in Switzerland? What? I always thought Switzerland was progressive. Oh. Okay, so now it's becoming illegal. Damn, man, it's still not legal though in Switzerland. What are you guys doing out there? Always hating on America for not being progressive, and you guys can't get your shit together, man? Come on, man. You guys are supposed to be you guys do free everything, right? But yet, nobody in the Middle East is legal. Also, Germany, Austria, Italy, and France. You guys have the worst flags. But yeah, guys, I'm done. I'm done with this episode for today. I got nothing else to say. I got nothing else to say except for the irony. Oh, also in this shirt. Go get the shirt. Just kidding. Don't get the shirt. I don't have it up for sale. It's not for sale anywhere. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast as much as you guys struggle to sit down and listen. I enjoy doing it. It's fun. Closing into 2 years, closing into 200 episodes, which is it's definitely incredible. I don't know how many people. George Lopez got a podcast. It's my boy Joe Lopez, son. That's a beast. How many episodes I have? This is my 175th episode. 175th episode. That's ridiculous. What's your podcast about? I don't know. That's what I tell people. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I have no idea what my podcast is about. Go donate. Go show love, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my Wednesday. You guys stay safe. Be safe out there. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace out. See ya.